Hello and welcome to Howard College. Summer 2, 2016. This is Crime in America, CRIJ 1307. This is an accredited course for the Criminal Justice Department. It is accepted in all colleges and universities across the country. Do want to welcome you to this course today. My name is John Fisher. I'm the professor of this course and of this program. I'm also the program director for the Criminal Justice Department at Howard College, Big Spring. And this is Crime in America. This class is a theory class. It is for summer 2, so it is 31 days long. The classes begin on July 11th and they go through August 11th. You're going to have assignments due for this class every other day. Because I am required to teach you or to have you cover all of the same material that is covered in a regular long 17 week semester, I need to make sure that it is all covered within the next 31 days from the start of classes. In this class you will have this is being presented through Blackboard and the Blackboard Learning Platform. On the left side of your screen, as you look at it, there are a bunch of tabs, 1 through 16, and these tabs are put together in association with the chapters of the textbook. We're using Criminology by Frank Smollinger, and this class pretty much has 2 sections or 2 parts. The first 18 chapters of the textbook deal with theory. And all theory. The last section of the from chapter 9 through the end of the textbook deals with specific crimes within the United States. Okay, so as you look at it, you're going to go into tab 1. You're going to see this welcome video, and then you're going to see 3 folders. The first folder has the resources, so everything that you need to know about tab 1 or lesson 1 will be involved in the resources folder. The second folder is discussions, and in that you'll have a discussion due every other day starting July 12th. You will be required to post an original response or original post addressing the question or the situation that is posed by the discussion. After you have presented your original thoughts in APA format, requiring in-text, parenthetical in-text citations and a reference list at the end of your discussion. You will be required to respond to at least one classmate and then reply to anybody that responds to you. I will do my very best to respond to every single one of you in every discussion. My idea is to promote critical thinking and to make you think. So I'm going to ask you a question, and I'm going to expect you to reply to that question and to reply to anybody else who responded to your original post. This is intended to simulate an in-class discussion. Well, it is in class, it's just online. This learning environment is online. I really like the online learning because it gives you an opportunity to speak and still be a little bit anonymous. A lot of people I find in the classroom, a lot of people are not willing to talk because, hey, they're going to make fun of me later, they're going to insult me, they're going to make fun of me or whatever. So they're more likely to speak or more likely to share their thoughts in an online environment. However, this is an adult class. I expect you to respond with or as adults, and no name calling, no disrespect, and there's going to be a lot of discussion, a lot of debate in these classes because we're going to be talking about the different theories of crime. We're going to be talking about on why people decide to do the things that they do. As I'm recording this today in Germany, the gunman took a rifle into a theater, and the last report that I read, there was at least 25 people that were injured. I saw a Facebook post, a Facebook report that suggested that there were 50 people that had been shot. The news is reporting that the gunman is dead, but he had absolutely nothing to do with ISIS or an ISIS involved ISIS-inspired attack. Okay, so we're going to talk about why people do the things that they do. We're going to discuss the different theories on why people do the things that they do. You do have a research project that is due. Okay, you're going to have one element of this research project due every Sunday. The first Sunday, you're going to have an outline that's due. The second Sunday, you're going to have to provide me with an annotated bibliography. Okay, and the third Sunday is a rough draft of your paper. And then the last Sunday of the class, August 9th or 10th, 8th or 9th, your final research paper will be due. As soon as you see this video, I suggest that you start working on it, because it is a 5 to 7 page double-spaced research project in APA format that has parenthetical and text citations. It has a reference page, and it can be on any topic within crime in America. It can be a specific crime. It can be a crime theory. It can be an issue of or a specific criminal. You know, if you wanted to do Timothy McVeigh, although I'm tired of Oklahoma City bombing, I'm tired of 9/11. In fact, I'm not going to accept any papers about the Oklahoma City bombing or 9/11 as the primary subject of the paper. You can do another paper or another project that has Timothy McVeigh involved. You know, if you wanted to do a paper on the militia, go ahead and do a paper on the militia. My dissertation was on the militia. I've spent the last 10 years of my academic life researching hate and hate crimes and the militia and hate groups and how they all interact and interreact with America and with society. Okay, so you're going to hear me throughout this lecture series talk about my dissertation and the research and the studies that I have done. We have a bunch of videos in every tab, in every resource folder. You're going to see a video made by me somewhere in Big Spring at Howard College, across the state, sometimes across the country, depending on when I've made the video or where I will make the video. During this particular semester, I do plan to do a little bit of traveling throughout Texas, so I will possibly make a video at those places where I'm visiting. I like online classes, and I like teaching online classes because it doesn't tie me down to a classroom. I can travel around Texas. I can see things, and part of knowledge and part of learning is experiencing things. My background is in corrections. After I was in the I served in the military from 1984 to 1992. I am a decorated combat veteran from Desert Storm. I was in the 628th Military Airlift Support Squadron during Desert Storm, which is stationed in Incirlik, Turkey. When I left Incirlik, Turkey in 1991, I went to the 1st Special Operations Wing in Eglin, Florida. I was part of the 655th Special Operations Maintenance Squadron. And then when I got out of the military, I went to college and got a degree, and I worked at a radio station, and I've worked at a tuxedo shop, and I bounced around looking for something to do, like a lot of veterans do. They have a hard time adjusting back to civilian life after they get out of the military. And I joined, and I was employed by a company called the Corrections Corporation of America, and I became a correctional officer for the private prison system, supervising or correcting federal inmates, mostly deportable aliens. And when I got tired of doing that, I went and I worked for state probation. For the state of Texas, I was a probation officer with the Concho Valley CSCD, and then went down to Alpine and was part of the Pecos County, or the Permian Basin CSCD. I really enjoy corrections, and if I was to ever leave teaching, I'd go back to corrections, whether it was with the Texas Department of Criminal Justice or back to probation. but I would go back to the corrections world if I ever left academia and left teaching. Um, but our view, our desire within Crime in America is to analyze and to develop theories to try and explain why people do the things that they do. Why do we have rapists? Why are there murderers? Why are there serial killers? Why do people feel the need to steal things? Okay, these are all questions to be asked within Crime in America. Okay, and this class, this theory class, should almost be well, it is 1307, so it is technically a first semester class that you're supposed to be taking to help give you a basis and understanding for the other classes that we teach. You know, if you don't have a good foundation in the theory, you can't have, or you can't make an educated decision or educated input into why people commit crime and how it all works together. So I am going to recommend to you that you read, not only your textbook, but any time that you can find an article, a journal article, or something to that effect and to that nature, I recommend that you read it, especially when it deals with crime. If you want to be in the criminal justice world for the rest of your life, it's important that you read, and you read as much as you can. Whether it's crime fiction or real life crime stories or research like my dissertation on militia groups, however you decide to go about reading, I suggest that you do so. And in the process, create your own annotated bibliography. I'm going to make another video about annotated bibliographies here in the next couple days for you to view for when that comes due, because the annotated bibliography is not only important for doing individual research, but it's important for you to conduct your life. You can keep track of the things that you have read and the things that you have learned throughout the history of your life by keeping an annotated bibliography. And then when you get into a discussion and somebody says, well, that's not true, where'd you come up with that? Well, you can reference that article or that book or that journal article or that research project and say, well, this is where I got this from. Okay. Because in our world, in the world of academia, there is nothing new. Okay. I don't know if there's been any real new ideas to come across in a long time. We just reevaluate the information that's already been known. I was in a juvenile justice class while working in my PhD, and part of the requirements was to come up with a program to help at-risk youth readjust or become a member of society. And I used Edwin Sutherland as my basis for my basic theory or base theory, and his differential association theory, which we'll talk about. And my professor, he was a psychologist, he goes, you know what? Edwin Sutherland's theories are 70, 80 years old. It's pointless and useless. But in the criminal justice world, nothing has changed. And I read somewhere in a book somewhere that there's nothing new under the sun. And the same is with criminal justice. We can say, hey, this guy's nuts, or this guy is a silver spoon, he has expectations, he has all of these other things. Why did he do the things that he did? Just about everything has already been covered. Okay, so we need you to start reading, and you can read everything that you can read. Write it down, give a synopsis, give a basis for the reason why you have said the things that you have said and the conclusions that you have done. This should be a fun class. I hope to see you in my class. I'm releasing this video on YouTube in the middle of June, so if you get to see this video and you want to take part in this class, there'll be a link down below, howardcollege.edu, so that you can get enrolled in this class. We can have a really great discussion on crime in America and why people commit crime and what is deviance and all of those questions that we ask and why we do the things that we do. Okay, I do hope that you have a very, very good day, and I hope to see you in class.